Happy Friday. Okay, today I am so excited. I had so many things that I wanted to share with you that I decided to throw the muffins in the oven a little early because I just have so much to share with you. So first of all, these muffins, delicious. Let me get over here so you can kind of see what we have here. All right. Y'all know I love to bake with protein powder. It's my little hack to get macros down. And this recipe actually, I found it and it was supposed to be donuts, Apple Spice, like baked donuts. And we tweaked it a little bit. I got the macros down to just where I like them. We're at 125 calories, 7 protein, 7 fat, 8 carbs, 2 fiber, and 6 net carbs. Okay, and we're always worried about more concerned about the net carbs because you subtract the fiber from the total number of carbs, and that's what gives you your net carbs. Fiber is your friend, okay? These are delicious. It is almond flour, vanilla protein powder, baking powder, cinnamon, nutmeg, salt, 2 eggs, a half cup of unsweetened applesauce. These are apple muffins. So the applesauce does 2 things. We don't need as much oil because applesauce provides the moisture. And they're the apple muffins. So applesauce, unsweetened, of course, make sure that it's just apples. A tablespoon of avocado oil. You could use ghee. You could use coconut oil. I can tell when I use coconut oil in baking, unless I want the flavor of coconut in whatever I'm baking, I try not to use it. I'll use avocado oil because it's a very neutral taste. Vanilla, and then a half cup of diced apple. I had a really little apple in the fridge, honestly. I probably use more like 3/4 of a cup. But the batter tastes delicious. They're almost finished, and we'll see how they taste. They should be really moist because of the oil. However, and this allulose, I forgot to mention allulose. Honestly, today, I had some date sugar in the pantry, and I used date sugar today. Just because I kind of wanted, more of a brown sugary, caramely taste, and this is going to do that. You could always do a little bit of molasses. Molasses is a little trick that I've been using in some of these recipes when I'm using allulose, because it will give you, first of all, full of minerals, a trace bit of iron, but all kinds of those good trace elements that you really don't find in a lot of places. And you get that deep, rich, goldenish taste. So if something is calling for brown sugar and I'm using allulose, I will use, I'll do like a tablespoon of molasses, blackstrap molasses, to give that nice brown, warm flavor. But, okay, so it is pumpkin season, right? And, those are the muffins. Here we go. Okay. Maybe another minute. Okay. So I have people have been sending me the link to the article about the protein powders. I think they found some kind of contaminants. I forget what kind of contaminants. I'm going to go over here right now. Okay, there was some kind of contaminants in a lot of protein powders. Equip was one of them. Equip, before I found Flav City, Equip was one of the ones I was fond of. Not good for baking though. So yes, the problem with all of this stuff, something is being recalled all the time, and it's a problem. So I say you control what you can, and you know, we can't control everything. So you control what you can. And the cool thing, guys, about protein powder is we can make healthy alternatives. So I put together a list of healthy alternatives that we can have instead of a highly processed protein powder. So what I did was kind of broke them apart, and I can actually turn this into like a real document and share it if anyone wants it. But hemp seeds, you all know I love my hemp hearts. So now they have a lot of fat in them as well. Wonderful omega-3s. So hemp seeds, this breakdown is all about 3 tablespoons. So hemp hearts are a complete protein. You've heard me talk about complete versus incomplete proteins. And when we're looking to get our protein, we want complete protein. Collagen is an incomplete protein, but of course it's necessary. So a combination of them both, leaning towards the majority of them being complete proteins. Hemp seeds are complete protein. So in 3 tablespoons, you have 7 grams of protein, 10 fat, 2 carbs, 1 fiber. Pumpkin seeds, hello. Everybody's got their pumpkins, right? It is pumpkin season. You're carving your pumpkins, and don't throw the guts away. Don't throw them away. Hold tight. Muffins are ready. Oh, okay. They are looking quite delicious. Now, I didn't do anything fancy. I didn't put cinnamon on the top or nuts or anything. I just kind of stuck to the recipe the way it is. So get your pumpkin, take the seeds out, clean all those guts off. I know it's a pain, but it is going to be so worth it. Either bake them to dry them out in an oven, or you can leave them out overnight. I prefer to bake them because if you do, it's really hard. Hi, Susan. It's really hard to get those sticky bits of orange pumpkin guts off. So the baking kind of dries all of that out. So, like, if you did that when you were a kid, we did that as kids all the time. But you don't want any flavoring on these, so just dry them out, okay? A 1/4 cup of pumpkin seeds is 9 grams of protein. 9 grams, okay? Now, a 1/4 cup sounds like a lot, but they're pumpkin seeds. They're big. 9 protein, 13 fat, 4 carbs, 2 fiber. In addition to that, zinc for hormones. So pumpkin seeds are an amazing thing to help calm hormones, immunity, and they have magnesium and tryptophan for mood and balance. So pumpkin seeds are fantastic to help calm any kind of hormonal disruption you might be having, okay? My perimenopause, menopause girls, very, very helpful. If you're still cycling, if you have difficulty, have like trouble with your cycles, seeding can help. Different seeds have different minerals and can help a whole lot. It's all about the minerals, guys. Sunflower seeds, 1/4 cup, 5.5 protein, 14 fat, 6 carbs, and 3 fiber. So, getting a little more fatty here. Then chia seeds, y'all know I love my chia seeds. I won't go through them all, but go back to the sunflower seeds, excellent for detox, selenium, B6, thyroid health. I'll tell you about that too in a minute. Chia seeds, I love them for fiber, sugar, gut balance. All seeds are amazing for hormones. Remembering that insulin, those foundational hormones, insulin, blood sugar, those, right, they dance together. Chia seeds, calcium, magnesium. Flax seeds, these have phytoestrogens for hormone modulation. Flax seeds are highly anti-inflammatory. They have a ton of omega-3s, lots of fiber. Fiber helps you detoxify. okay? Sesame seeds, calcium, copper, manganese, all of these are good sources of protein. You know, as we got lower to the list, flax seeds, sesame seeds, they have a lower content of protein. But here's the thing. You take these seeds, you blend them, put them in a coffee mill. You can toast them a little bit, especially if you have raw seeds. And this is after we want to dry out those pumpkin seeds. But it's so inexpensive because you can buy these seeds in bulk. Toast them up if you want to toast them up, but you can make your own formulation of protein powder. So, you know, the majority, if you do pumpkin seeds as the majority, these have the highest amount of protein. Pumpkin seeds, throw in some hemp seeds, throw in some chia seeds, because you all know that would be my combo. Blend them up, and you want them to be powdery. You can sift it through a sieve to take out the anything that didn't pulverize, and use that as your protein powder. If you want, you can use it in baking. It won't liquefy. It'll firm things up. Chia seeds especially will help firm things up a little bit. Put them in your smoothie. So if we're talking, if you're putting a scoopful of this protein powder, this is a scoop, guys, right? So we're talking a quarter cup easy. A quarter cup easy in our protein powders, okay? So when we're talking cost, how much you're taking, yeah, very convenient to buy a bag. But honestly, 5 minutes and you can mix up your own blend that's totally natural, that won't be recalled, and you can blend it specifically for what you might need more of. And you're getting all kinds of good things. So that scoop for sure is a quarter of a cup. So you're talking, if you mix all of these, if you mix your blend of seeds, you're getting at least, I would say, 10 to 12 grams of protein, depending on your seed blend, in your protein scoop. Not bad. 10 less than this, but like I said, you're saving money, you're getting all kinds of other things, and it's totally natural. You're totally controlling what you're putting in there. Now, I went down, y'all know I go down these rabbit holes, right? So, the rabbit hole I went down was, is grass-fed butter worth the extra cost? Because we all know grass-fed butter is costly. And I do challenge anybody. Oh, yummy. Okay, I do challenge anyone. I get questioned a lot about, well, healthy eating is so expensive. If you prepare and you know these little tricks and hacks, it's cost effective. Because let's go back to the protein powder. I gotta get my muffins out of here before they stick. So let's go back to the protein powder. A good quality protein powder, you all know, is quite expensive. Okay, guys. I go off on tangents. Absolutely delicious. Amazing. Okay. So your protein powder is that Flav City. It's almost $60. It's, I think, $58 for a bag of it, and it's 30 servings. So you go to Meijer's, Aldi's, wherever, and buy your seeds. Preferably, you kind of want to buy them in bulk, right? I get my hemp hearts usually from Costco. I want to say they're less than $10 for a big bag. The whole bag doesn't even fit in this canister when the canister's empty. And of course, chia seeds here from Meijer. I think this bag of chia seeds, 12 ounces, was $6. So you start to create your little blend, and it's so much more cost effective. You control what's in it. It's wonderful. Okay, now the grass-fed butter. Did a deep dive, and just like grass-fed, just like grass-fed beef. And I say this all the time. If you're a meat eater, if you're a protein eater, a meat protein eater, you are what you eat, but you are also what your animal eats. And actually, you can extend this further. And, as if you're a vegetarian or a vegan, how your crops are grown is just as important. The way our farming system works anymore, our soil is so deplete in minerals. So we are all deplete in minerals because we're getting our nutrients from what we're eating. If our soil is nutrient depleted, we don't have minerals, and our food doesn't have minerals, therefore we're not going to get minerals. Mineral imbalance, mineral deficiencies. I just saw a study, mineral deficiencies are tied to a plethora of diseases. Okay, I'm getting really into the weeds here, I talk with my hands all the time. So, grass-fed butter, more omega-3s, vitamin K, and conjugated linoleic acid, and beta-carotene, much more so than regular butter. These are all the compounds that absolutely support decrease inflammation. Everything I teach in all of my programs, all of those things, they're nutrient dense. It's a healthier fat. The quality is better. The grass-fed butter has a higher proportion of short and medium chain fatty acids, and one in particular called butyrate. And guess what loves butyrate? Your cells, our gut cells love butyrate. It is gut healing. So, and honestly, grass-fed butter has a creamier texture. It tastes better. It looks totally different also. It's darker. Usually it's much darker yellow. So if you're using butter as a healthy fat, when you want to use it, especially if you're using it in your coffee for bulletproof coffee or anything like that, you want to use the grass-fed butter. It's definitely worth the cost. Regular butter has a higher omega-6 content, and we want more it's all about ratios, but we want less omega-6s because they promote inflammation. Omega-3s are anti-inflammatory. Okay, so lots of things. And I have to mention another thing. We talked about thyroid. I've been so far down my thyroid hormone rabbit hole. And again, I have been totally deficient in T3, the active form of thyroid, for probably 30 years. All the research points to that it has been, low T3 has contributed, and I feel caused all of my all the diagnoses I've had in my adult life. My Raynaud's disease, my inflammatory kidney disease. I also noticed for the past several years, as and I always thought I was getting older. I call BS on that line. Thanks, Susan. I would literally say, it must be because I'm on the computer too much. I want to pop my eyeballs out. They were dry, gritty, you name it. So I started on compounded thyroid medication, which I highly recommend. If you are on thyroid medication and taking plain old Synthroid or levothyroxine, talk to your provider about getting a compounded T3 and T4. Send me a DM if you want to talk about it. I'm happy to talk about it, but it is so important. I have been on it now for less than a month. I think today is 3 weeks. 3 weeks. Past couple days I woke up, I'm like, oh, my eyes. I rub my eyes. I love to rub my eyes. Rub my eyes, and I have, like little Sandman, right? Like when you're a little kid. I'm like, what the heck? Had though for the last 2 days. Of course, your lacrimal glands need T3. Every single cell in your body needs T3. So in the past 3 weeks, my dry eye has started to reverse. I used every drop possible and never got the feeling I have now. I'm blinking and it just feels good. You don't know what good feels like until you have it back, because all of these things are slow process. And I cannot tell you how powerful this T3 has been in a very short period of time. My Ray knows, I can't say it's gone because it's, my hands are cold. I have not had purple, numb hands or feet in at least this week. So 2 weeks on the compounded T3, T4 has been absolutely amazing. And I can't imagine what this is doing to my kidneys. I've already reversed or halted my kidney disease by an anti-inflammatory regimen. But now all of my cells are getting T3. T3 is so important for every single cell, for your cellular health. It is crazy. So I'm amazed at one little thing making such a big difference. So talk to your provider, talk to me. I want to shout it from the rooftops. And this is the stuff that makes healthy people. And this is what fuels me. It's awesome to, first of all, experience it myself and know how great I feel. And I've shared with you that my journey has been years, right? 7+ years. And all these little steps, everything has just added on to everything. And guys, I am feeling better than I did in my 40s. And I am 58. Yes. So I am reversing the clock. Let me reverse yours. All right. I talked a lot today. All right. Muffins, I highly recommend them. I may have put a little too much salt in them. I don't know. Gotta see. Maybe a little more cinnamon, a little more nutmeg. But we're gonna be snacking very, very healthily this weekend. So have an awesome weekend. If you're a Steelers fan, I feel your pain. It was a sad one last night. If you're a Bengals fan, good for you. Good game. All right, y'all. Bye-bye.